Everything shifts the day you decide to own your life completely. Sit with that for a second. So many people are stuck waiting for a helping hand, waiting for someone to finally believe in them, waiting for the right moment to arrive. And while they wait, life doesn't pause with them. Days turn into weeks, weeks fade into months, months pile up into years, and that dream, it's still sitting right where they left it. Why? Because they're expecting someone else to do the one thing only they can do for themselves. Here's a truth that stings a little. Nobody is coming. No one will show up to pull you out of bed each morning. No one will hand you discipline. No one will construct your future for you or make your dreams walk on their own. That job belongs to you and only you. You can't control the weather, the seasons, or the way the wind blows, but you can absolutely control yourself. That's where your real power lives. Not in blame, not in complaints, not in sitting around waiting, but in stepping up and taking ownership. The instant you stop searching outside yourself for answers and start looking inward, things start to shift. Now, this doesn't mean help never arrives. You might come across mentors. You might build real friendships. Opportunities might land in your lap. But none of that replaces your own effort, because nobody else can do your push-ups for you, read your books for you, practice discipline in your place, or become successful on your behalf. The work has to be yours. Success isn't magic, and it isn't luck. It's built through consistent hard work and discipline only kicks in once excuses stop. No more waiting around. No more pointing fingers. No more hoping a rescuer shows up. Because here's the truth. The hero you've been waiting on has been staring back at you in the mirror this whole time. Not next year. Not someday. Today. Let's talk about personal responsibility, self-reliance, mental toughness, and the courage it takes to keep pushing forward, even when nobody's cheering you on. The strongest people learn one thing early. You don't need the whole world to believe in you. You just need to stop doubting yourself. Nobody is coming. And honestly, that's not bad news. That's freedom. It means your future is still entirely in your own hands. So get up, take responsibility, put in the work, and build the life you actually deserve. No excuses. No waiting. No rescue. Just action. Change begins with you. The moment you stop expecting someone else to transform your life is the exact moment your life starts transforming. Let that idea sink in. Most people spend years in waiting mode, waiting for support, waiting for encouragement, waiting for the perfect window to open, waiting to be noticed. Meanwhile, time keeps ticking. Days slip by, months slip by, years slip by, and the dream stays frozen exactly where it began. Not because it was out of reach, but because they kept waiting for somebody else to hand it to them. Here's a hard pill to swallow. Nobody is coming to wake you up early, force you to pick up a book, instill discipline in you, or build your future brick by brick. That's on you. If you want things to change, you have to be the one who changes. That's where genuine power starts. Not when help arrives, not when circumstances improve, not when luck finally shows up, but the moment you choose to take ownership. And to be clear, doing this on your own doesn't mean you'll never get support. Mentors may appear, friends may show up, opportunities may present themselves. But even with an army of support behind you, the actual work still belongs to you. Nobody can work out for you, learn for you, shape your character for you, or achieve success in your place. You have to do it yourself. That's actually one of the most liberating truths out there. Because once you accept nobody is coming, you stop waiting. You drop the excuses. You stop blaming outside forces. You stop depending on circumstances, and you start acting instead. You might not flip your entire life around overnight, but you absolutely can shift your direction overnight. One decision, one action, one commitment. That's genuinely all it takes to get moving. Most people underestimate the power they already hold. They assume someone else has the answer, the opportunity, the advantage. But more often than not, the answer was inside them all along. What they're missing isn't more help, it's more responsibility. Because responsibility is what generates power. The second you say, my future is my responsibility, everything shifts. You become sharper, more disciplined, more driven, because you've stopped waiting for someone else to carry your weight. You're carrying it yourself now. And yes, there will be hard days. Days when your effort goes unnoticed. Days when nobody claps for your progress. Days when nobody gets your vision. Keep moving anyway, because the strongest people figure out how to push forward without constant applause. They learn to believe in themselves before the rest of the world catches up. That's the line between dreamers and achievers. Dreamers wait, achievers act. Dreamers hope for a rescue. Achievers start with whatever they've already got. Dreamers lean on circumstances. Achievers lean on discipline. Success doesn't just happen to you. You build it. And building requires action, responsibility, ownership, and the courage to keep moving even when you feel completely alone. Because sometimes the biggest growth happens in solitude, when nobody's watching, nobody's cheering, nobody's helping. Those are the moments that forge real strength, real character, real leaders. So stop waiting. Stop scanning the room for a savior. Look in the mirror instead. The person who can change your life is already standing right there. Start now and take full ownership. Nobody is coming, and that's precisely why you have the chance to become unstoppable. You can't outsource growth. You can't pay someone to do your push-ups for you. Let that really sink in. Some things in life simply can't be handed off, transferred, or outsourced. Your discipline, your habits, your choices, your effort, nobody can replace them. And that's a truth a lot of people struggle to accept. They go looking for shortcuts, for help, for someone else to shoulder the burden. But growth doesn't work that way. Growth is personal. Change is personal. Success is personal. The price of success gets paid behind closed doors, not on a stage. Nobody can sit your exams for you. Nobody can train your body for you. Nobody can sharpen your skills or reshape your mindset in your place. They can guide you, cheer you on, support you, but they can't do the actual work for you. This is exactly where a lot of people go astray. They lean too heavily on motivation from others. Too much encouragement, too much validation from outside sources. But motivation fades, support fluctuates, and validation doesn't last. What sticks around is your own effort, your own discipline, your own consistency. Your life transforms when your habits transform, and habits are built through repetition, not through advice, not through inspiration, but through doing the same thing again and again, even when it's boring, even when it's tough, even when nobody's watching. That's where real change happens. If someone else could just do it for you, you'd never actually grow strong, disciplined, or capable, because struggle is what builds strength, effort is what builds confidence, and discipline is what builds character. None of that can be gifted to you. It has to be earned. Don't wish for an easy life. Wish for the strength to handle a hard one. Difficulty isn't your enemy. It's your trainer. It challenges you, tests you, reveals who you really are. And every time you push through it on your own, you come out stronger. Picture a life where everything was handed to you. Zero effort, zero resistance, zero challenge. You'd never grow. You'd never improve. You'd never even discover what you're capable of. That's exactly why personal effort matters so much. It's the pathway to transformation. Nobody can wake up early on your behalf. Nobody can make your decisions for you or fight your internal battles for you. You have to face them yourself. Yes, it can feel hard, lonely, even overwhelming at times, but that's precisely where strength gets built. Real strength doesn't come from what you're naturally capable of. It comes from pushing past what you once believed was impossible. Every time you choose to handle it yourself, you grow. Every time you push through resistance, you grow. Every time you refuse to give up, you grow. Until one day you realize you no longer need anyone pushing you, because you've become the person who pushes themselves. That's true freedom. So take this to heart. No one can do the work for you because the work itself is what shapes who you become. Do it yourself. Own your growth. Become who you were always meant to be. Excuses build the house you don't want to live in. Excuses are the nails that build a house of failure. Sit with that thought for a moment. Every excuse feels perfectly reasonable in the moment. I was too tired. I didn't have the time. I'll start tomorrow. It's just too hard right now. But repeat it enough, and it stops being an excuse and becomes a habit. And habits, not intentions, not dreams, are what actually shape your life. Success comes down to a handful of simple disciplines, practiced consistently, day after day. Excuses don't wreck your life all at once. They do it slowly, quietly, one small compromise at a time. One delay, one complaint, one justification, and suddenly time has slipped by. Opportunities have vanished, confidence has faded, and nothing has changed. Not because life was unfair, but because effort got swapped out for excuses. Now let's talk about complaining. It feels easy, almost like relief. But really, it's surrender. Because every complaint is basically saying, this is happening to me, instead of I'm going to do something about it. That shift in mindset changes everything. You can't control every circumstance life throws at you, but you can always control how you respond. That's responsibility. That's maturity. That's real strength. Successful people run into problems too. They hit setbacks, face disappointment. Absolutely. But they don't set up camp there. They don't build their identity around it. They keep moving, focusing on solutions instead of stories, excuses, or complaints. Because results don't come from talking about problems. They come from solving them. Ask yourself honestly, what have your excuses actually cost you? The workouts you skipped, the skill you never picked up, the opportunity you let slide, the goal you kept pushing back, not because you couldn't do it, but because you excused yourself out of it. Over time, excuses stop being occasional and start becoming identity. Someone who makes excuses today will make them tomorrow too, unless the pattern gets broken. And breaking it starts with a single decision. No more excuses, no more complaints. Just action, just responsibility, just results. Your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better through change, and change demands honesty. Honesty about your effort. Honesty about your discipline. Deep down, you already know when you're avoiding the work, when you're stalling, when you're making excuses, and the moment you admit it, you take back the power. A life free of excuses isn't necessarily an easy one, but it's a powerful one because it clears away confusion, blame, and delay, replacing them with clarity, focus, and direction. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what do I need to do now? That question is where transformation begins, because life rewards action, not excuses, not complaints, action. So own your situation. Do the work. Keep pushing forward even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't feel like it, because results come from execution, not wishing. Starting right now, make the decision. No excuses, no complaints, just results. Seasons of growth. You can't always see life. Seasons don't shift overnight, but they always shift eventually. Think about that. There are seasons that feel heavy, quiet, lonely, unnoticed. Seasons where you're putting in work, but nobody sees it, trying hard, but nobody's clapping, growing, but nobody understands the process. In those moments, doubt creeps in. Is this even working? Am I wasting my time? Why does it feel like I'm doing this completely alone? These thoughts are normal, but they're not always accurate. Progress isn't always visible. Growth isn't always loud, and change isn't always obvious. Just because you can't see the results doesn't mean they aren't happening. Think about a seed. Once it's planted, nothing seems to happen on the surface. No movement, no visible growth. But underground, something powerful is unfolding. Roots are forming, strength is building, a foundation is taking shape. Without that hidden process, there'd be no tree standing tall later. Your life works the exact same way. What feels like delay is often development. What feels like silence is often preparation. What feels like loneliness is often the very thing making you stronger. But only if you stay in it, only if you keep going, only if you trust the process. Don't measure your progress by what's visible today. Measure it by who you're becoming. Lonely seasons aren't punishment. They're preparation. Preparation for strength, for maturity, for real growth. When nobody's watching, you learn discipline. When nobody's helping, you learn independence. When nobody's cheering, you learn to believe in yourself. Those are the traits that build strong people. Not comfort, not attention, not applause, but quiet, steady consistency. Let's be honest, staying committed is easy when people are watching. Staying motivated is easy when you're getting praised. Staying focused is easy when results show up fast. But real strength gets built in silence. When no one sees your effort, no one acknowledges your progress, no one fully understands your journey, and you keep going anyway. That's discipline. That's character. That's power. The strongest foundations get built in the quietest places. So if you're in a lonely season right now, don't give up. Don't rush the process. Don't assume nothing's happening, because something is. You're growing, you're building, you're becoming, even if you can't see it clearly yet. Every day you stay committed strengthens your future self. Every day you keep going, you're laying down the foundation that will eventually hold up your success. Every day you trust the process, you're proving your own discipline. One day it will all click. The struggle, the silence, the waiting, it'll all connect. Every season serves a purpose, even the ones you don't fully understand. So keep going, even when it feels slow, even when it feels isolating, even when it feels uncertain, because seasons always change. And the people who stay consistent through the hard ones are the ones who rise when things finally shift. Trust it, work through it, grow through it. Your breakthrough isn't lost, it's developing. And when the time is right, it'll show itself. Stay patient, stay consistent, trust the process. Becoming unstoppable success isn't something you chase, it's something you become. Sit with that for a moment. Most people focus purely on outcomes, the money, the recognition, the results. But they overlook something crucial. The real value isn't just what you achieve, it's who you become while achieving it. What you get matters far less than who you become in the process. Becoming unstoppable isn't a single event, it's a process. A daily, disciplined, repeated process built on action, consistency, and responsibility. An unstoppable person isn't someone who never struggles, never fails, or never feels doubt. It's someone who keeps moving forward regardless, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when it's uncertain. That's strength. That's character. That's power. You're not defined by what happens to you. You're defined by how you respond to it. Every challenge you face is shaping you. Every setback is teaching you something. Every hard moment is building you. But only if you stay in the fight. Only if you keep going. Only if you refuse to quit. Quitting halts growth. Continuing creates transformation. And transformation is exactly what builds unstoppable people. Unstoppable people aren't born that way. They're built through repetition, through discipline, through showing up day after day. They do what others avoid. They stay consistent when others give up. They keep going when others stop. Not because they're special, but because they made different choices. Discipline is the bridge connecting your goals to your achievements. And that bridge has to be crossed every single day. One step, one action, one decision at a time, until discipline simply becomes who you are. Picture a version of yourself that doesn't hesitate, doesn't quit, doesn't dodge responsibility. A version that shows up daily no matter what. That version isn't far off. It's built through today's actions, not tomorrow's intentions or Sunday's plans, but today. Every small action adds to who you're becoming. Every disciplined choice strengthens you. Every time you push through resistance, your confidence builds. Until one day you realize you're no longer someone who struggles to start. You're someone who simply cannot stop. That's unstoppable, not perfect, not effortless, but consistent. and consistency always wins. So stop waiting to feel strong. Start building strength. Stop waiting to become disciplined. Start practicing discipline right now. Stop waiting to feel unstoppable. Start acting like it today. Your future isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you construct, brick by brick, action by action, day by day. And one day you'll look back and realize the moment you refused to quit was the exact moment you became unstoppable. The final word, your life won't change when the world changes. It changes when you change. Take a moment and really reflect on everything you've just heard. Nobody is coming. No one's going to do it for you or carry your responsibility for you. And that's not a weakness. That's your power. Because the moment you accept full responsibility, you take back control of your own life. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more blame, just action, just discipline, just steady progress. Success isn't handed to you. It's earned through daily effort. So keep going, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when it feels lonely, because every single step you take is shaping who you'll become. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the moment you decided to do it on your own was the exact moment everything started to change. No excuses, no waiting, no quitting, just becoming unstoppable.